Well, New Jersey Governor Phil Murphy is in the UAE for investment and trade talks, and joining us is the governor himself live. It's really good to have you with you around the set in UAE, of all places, Governor.
Of all places.
Yeah, really good to see you.
Honored to be here.
So I saw yesterday that you inked an MOU with the UAE. You were setting on establishing a partnership between the two gaming regulators. That's interesting. I'd love to hear more about it. What's the purpose?
Yeah, we've got a big gaming industry presence since 1978, including more recently with sports betting, where we've become the king of the hill in America in terms of the book of business. And we think there's a good amount of wisdom we can impart, by the way, both ways.
Yeah.
UAE deserves a lot of credit for standing up their body very quickly, and this is an exciting one of many memoranda of understanding that we're signing.
Yeah.
This was a good one.
Did you get the feeling that a casino might be in the UAE sites in the coming years? I
don't want to speak for the UAE, but I thought the fact that they're doing this and setting up a regulatory body is a really smart first step. That's what we did in New Jersey. That actually, believe it or not, has been the attraction for so many of the private sector players in New Jersey over the years. A reliable regulator is a big deal.
Yeah, so you've been on a whistle-stop tour around the Middle East. Tell us about some of the other conversations that you've been having in the places you visited.
Really good conversations. I'm a recovering banker, so I've been in this part of the world, but I'm here as governor for the first time. In fact, I'm the first sitting New Jersey governor ever to visit the GCC. So we've been in Saudi Arabia, Bahrain, and UAE. Lots of great discussions. Higher education exchanges, jobs announcement. We'll have one big one later today, in fact, here in Dubai. Lots of capital investment discussions around infrastructure, AI, other potential projects. Really good, productive mission. So far, so good.
Yeah, sounds like it. Let me just turn to the latest economic developments, and of course, the whole world has not been immune to the tariffs, the decision by the Trump administration to impose tariffs. Let's just start with the impact tariffs may have on your specific states. Which are the companies that are likely to be most affected?
Every state will get impacted.
Of course.
We're probably less impacted because we used to make cars and trucks and chemicals. Those days, we're now an innovation economy where pharma, biotech, telecom will be impacted. Canada, like 36 other states, is our biggest trading partner. But I think in this mission, it's been really important for folks to introduce America at the subnational level. So not just the overall American brand, but to tell the New Jersey story and how that fits in. I'm mostly critical of the execution as opposed to the principles. The president wants to make more stuff in America, so do I. Wants a more efficient government, who could argue with that. Wants to have peace over war. All of that is noble. The execution is where we need to be better, more strategic, sharpen that. I think it's getting, you mentioned stocks are getting into a little bit of a better place. The president's visit here, I think, is a big deal. I'm an optimist.
It's interesting to hear you say that you're agreeing with some of the principles that the Trump administration has put forward. Would you say that is representative of the Democratic Party today?
It's hard for folks, if you're an American, to say, I don't want more manufacturing in America, or I don't want a more efficient government, or I don't want peace. But it's how you go about that. I'll give you an example. We saw the tariffs coming in New Jersey. We said, you know what? Let's put together a massive incentive package that would incent multinationals to onshore into New Jersey and make stuff in Jersey. That, I'm not patting myself on the back, but I think that's more strategic. That's a smarter way to approach getting more stuff made in America.
Yeah. Let me ask you perhaps a more existential question. And I thought this was quite interesting. A Washington ABC poll conducted recently showed that not only is the Republican Party perceived to be out of touch with what is in the U.S. public interest, but so is the Democratic Party, and even more so than the Republican Party. What is it about the Democrat messaging that just is not resonating with the base, you think?
Let's put aside, I've mentioned some principles that I agree with the president on. There's a whole long list of areas that I don't agree with, but we'll put that aside for a moment. There's no question the Democratic Party has work to do. That's the case when you come out of a national election, as we did, and you lose, as we did. There's a lot of rightful soul searching. And I still think we're finding our way. We are the party of the working families. We're the party of the worker. We're the party that's at the kitchen table. We've gotten a little bit away from some of that over the past number of years. I think it's up to us to get back in that groove that we've been successful at in the past and we will be again.
Yeah, I mean, you come from the, perhaps I would say, the more centrist or perceived to be more centrist part of the Democratic Party. When you look ahead to the future, do you see it turning more progressive or more centrist in future iterations?
People ask me who I am, and I say I'm a proud progressive and a cold-blooded capitalist.
You're a good politician.
Yeah, but I think some folks out there think you can't be both of those things, and I think you absolutely can be. I think history shows that we continue to tap into a proud progressive base, and we never betray those principles, but you don't win elections unless you can appeal to the middle of our country. And I think that's the balance that, as a party, that we have to strike.
Yeah, and do you think that your party will get it right by the midterm elections?
I do. I mean, in part for all the wrong reasons. People's hair are on fire with, you saw some polling recently where words chaos and scary got very high marks in terms of how people are feeling about our country right now. Those aren't good words to describe America, and I think in large part because of a reaction to that, my guess is this will be a version of 2018, if I had to predict right now.
What do you think about Trump choosing to come to the Middle East as his first foreign visit?
Smart. I wouldn't say that necessarily relative to where else he might have gone, although he did, I think, he went to the Pope's funeral, and I think that was the right, respectful thing to do. But to your point, not a foreign visit per se. I think it's a smart move. This part of the world has got enormous momentum. We've seen it ourselves. That's why I'm here. So I don't blame the president for 1 second for coming here. I hope he sticks to those principles, that the execution gets better, that the volatility comes down, that you see some of your charts that you showed earlier, that the bond market stabilizes, the dollar, a strong dollar, I still believe, is in our national interest. Stocks stabilize and recover. Let's get into a better place in that respect. I think the mission here is a smart move by him.
Are you expecting big deals to come out of this visit?
I would bet absolutely. I'm a former U.S. ambassador in my case in Germany when we hosted both the vice president and then the president. You line up a lot of stuff that you can point to and say, listen, this trip produced the following. Yeah. I would be shocked if you don't have a similar reality here.
Well, let me just round up asking you about your own plans. Your term ends at the end of this year. What are you planning on doing next? I saw that Rutgers is courting you to be their next president.
Yeah, I was flattered by that. I will not be the next president of Rutgers, but thank you for raising that. I don't know yet. I've been in public service now for a long time. A senior member of the Democratic Party, ambassador, and now governor, which is the job of a lifetime. I'll be shocked if I'm not involved in some form, my wife as well, in public service, but to be determined. We're going to run through the tape between now and then.
Governor, thank you so much. Really good to have you with us on our show today. And the director who speaks in my ear actually lives in your state, so
I met him.
hello as well.
Very cool.
New Jersey Governor Phil Murphy.